Blitzwolf has reached out to me and asked me to review one of their soundbars. And for transparency reasons, I want to say that I don't get paid for this review, they just gave it to me for free. And I thought, of course, soundbar for free? Why not? Let's do it. The soundbar is around $99 and quite a cheap one compared to other soundbars. And you can buy them at banggood.com, and the link to this is in the video description. Now, this Stereo 2.0 soundbar has 60 watt, is about 36 inch long and comes in a quite nice black piano-like finish. The whole concept of this design seems to be that it is rather an instrument and not just a technological device. But more about this later. The soundbar comes with everything that is important. The manual, the US power cord, but also an optical cable and an RCA to 3.5mm audio cable. The highlight of the accessories is certainly the remote control, which has a very nice, smooth feeling to it. Now, the remote control is of course used to turn on and turn off the device, but you can also use it to change the volume and to stop or play songs that you have on a USB device. You can also use it to change between different input sources, and there are a few. You can use the 3.5mm input, you can use the optical cable, the coaxial cable, you can of course plug in a USB device, can use HDMI, but you can also pair the soundbar to another device using Bluetooth, which is quite nice if you don't want to have cables lying around everywhere. To be completely honest, the aggressive brand name doesn't really fit to this device at all. It comes in a very glossy piano-like finish, and it seems to be designed to be something that looks like an instrument rather than a technological device. And this is not just because of the finish, but also because of the very small buttons that are on top of the soundbar. These buttons can be used to turn on and turn off the device, to change the volume and to change the input source. Now, there is no display, but there are very small, tiny lights that indicate which input is active right now. That is quite a nice idea, but it's also a bit complicated, and it depends on your position on whether you can really see them or not. Now, I will certainly not be able to remember what light is what input source, but if you use the remote control, it doesn't really matter. And now to the most important thing, the sound. I find it quite interesting that this soundbar doesn't only have speakers in the front, but also on the top. Especially voice and speech can be understood very well because of the two speakers in the front. The 4 speakers and 2 diaphragms on top fill the whole room with sound. Modern TVs tend to become flatter and flatter, and with that comes the sound. This soundbar certainly gives you more bass and more treble. Especially in the low volume area, the soundbar sounds very balanced and quite good, to be completely honest. If you turn up the volume, the bass becomes quite flat. So if you want to listen to music that has a lot of bass, you certainly want to take a look at a 2.1 sound system. You also have the possibility to change the sound using the equalizer setting on your remote control. You can change between 4 equalizer settings: music, film, news and sport. But I have to say, the difference is rather small. So who is the soundbar for? Now, if you want to have a nice device and you don't want to have too many cables, maybe you want to use Bluetooth and you want to use the soundbars watching movies or for classical music or acoustic music, then you can certainly really buy this soundbar. if you want to listen to music that has lots of bass, you should rather look at a 2.1 soundbar. But I have to say, for the $100, you get a device that is absolutely worth it. Now let me know in the comments what you think about this review and if you want to have this kind of reviews in the future.